Today's Small Business Saturday radio podcast is being brought to you by Noretta Family Medicine, cutting through the red tape of healthcare.
Good morning, Columbia, South Carolina, and of course to everyone around the Midlands, outside of the Midlands, within the Midlands, in the state of South Carolina, outside of the state of South Carolina, because we know the internet has made the world very small. Okay, I am Tzima, your host, and I am the owner of Sunrise Artists Bath and Body, located in 5 Points, and the show is Small Business Saturday Radio. So today, it's me and you. That's right. It's, you know what, this is the thing, right? I love doing shows where it's just me and you. I love having guests on. Don't get it twisted. I love that too. I'm a very complex person. But I enjoy being in the studio and just having a conversation with the listening audience. That's one of the things that I have always loved about radio. So it's just really cool sometimes when I'm in here by myself and, oh my God, it's a beautiful day outside. It is just amazing. So, you know, keeping that in mind, I'm feeling really good. I hope you guys can step out into the sun. The sun is really important. Vitamin D, believe me, if you don't get enough of it, you'll have problems. Okay? But it's absolutely beautiful outside today. So I give thanks that I'm here to witness it, that I'm here to be a part of it. And I hope that you're able to give thanks to being here on such a beautiful day, because you know the weather in South Carolina, you never know. So anyway, the cool thing about today too is that because it's just me and you, that means that I have the freedom to move all around the chessboard. And let me tell you guys something really quick before I get into the show topics that I've decided to discuss today. A friend of mine, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, I don't know. I'm just feeling like maybe I should sell my house and take my retirement, sell the business, and move to Costa Rica. So he was in the store and there was other people in there, and he's known me for like 30 years. And he looked at them and said, let me tell y'all something about Tzima that a lot of people probably don't know, but those of us that are close to her, we know this about her. She is constantly reinventing herself. And it usually happens around the 10-year mark. So I was just looking at him like, really? Seriously? And he was like, how long have you been here? And I was like, 9 years. He was like, yep, there you go. You're on that mission now. That's who you are. That's what you do. Every 10 years, you reinvent yourself. And I'm like, oh my God. And when I I started reflecting on what he was saying to me, and it made so much sense. And I don't know why that is for me, but when I look back and I look at my patterns, he's absolutely right. It's almost like there's a calling that I get to do something else. And I don't know what that calling is. All I know is that I can start feeling it. I get depressed because I know I'm feeling it. And it's like that Led Zeppelin song that I play all the time, like, I'm going to leave you. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm just feeling this desire. And don't get it twisted. I absolutely love radio. I love my audience. I love my customer base, and I love making products. But there's something that's calling me somewhere else. So I don't know if you've ever had that experience, or, if you've ever acted on it. I'm crazy enough to act on it. And that's the thing. So I'm constantly, I could see myself in Costa Rica. Or this other thing that I'm thinking about, I want to get a tiny house. I'm going to rent out my house and I'm going to build a shed and live in that. So something is changing for me, and it does happen every 10 years. the thing about it is that that's one of the things that I love about myself. And I also think that that is one of the things that keep me completely connected to life, that I've never felt like I had to do something forever because of X, Y, and Z. I've never, ever had that experience, be it in relationships, be it in business, I've been at the Pentagon, all kind of things. I've never had that vibe where I felt like I had to do something forever. In fact, I resented that. And it's probably because early on in life, I just met too many people that I thought, looking up at them as a young teenager, young adult, their lives were miserable. They stayed in relationships because they felt they couldn't go anywhere else. They stayed on jobs that they absolutely no longer had passion for, or even though it paid really good money, it was so draining for them. The money wasn't worth it. They stayed in areas that they always wanted to get out of, but for some reason they didn't understand, dude, the bus leaves every day. You can leave. Okay. So I think it's fear. I've never been wired that way. So I've always looked at myself as being different. Like, why am I not wired that way? Right? Because a lot of society is, and there was something in me that knew my life, your life, anybody's life is more than that. Now, if you're happy where you are and everything is working out for you and you've been there 30, 40 years, I admire that too. If you've been in a relationship where you've worked through the hard times, where you've manifested good things in this relationship and you guys have this partnership where you're able to move, in sequence or whatever with each other, I admire that too. But I also admire those people that are like me, that's more free-spirited, where it's really hard for us to be anchored down. Because for me, life is about the experience. That's the only thing you get to take with you. Okay, I'm sorry if you didn't know that, or if your religious teachings did not teach you that. You ain't taking none of this stuff with you. None of it. I am not going to have one bar of soap, even if they filled my casket. Well, I want to be cremated. But even if I was in a casket and they filled it with bath bombs and soap, it is not going wherever my spirit is supposed to go. Now, that's a whole nother show. We'll talk about that another time. But what I'm saying is that the only thing you get to take with you is the experience. And I think that's one of the reasons why, for me, it's extremely important for me to be able to have these experiences. So, all right, listen, guys, we're going to have a good show today. I hope you call in, give me your opinion, thoughts, whatever, on, what I'm talking about. But I also want to be able to give a shout out to someone in 5 Points who passed away, who's extremely popular, well known, and well loved, Steve Tannehill. So we're going to go into a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about what 5 Points is doing to honor his memory. And so the question is, how you living? How you living? What are people going to think about you when it's time for you to make that exit? All right, everybody, we'll be right back. You're listening to Small Business Saturday Radio.
The City of Columbia's Office of Business Opportunities supports small business owners. We help minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses with loans, technical assistance, education, and advocacy. We're here to help business owners avoid mistakes. Contact us with questions and let us help. For more information, call 803-545-3950 or visit obo.columbiasc.gov. Together, we are Columbia.
Are you frustrated with the healthcare system and looking for a change? Then look no further. I'm Dr. Melissa Boylan with Noretta Family Medicine. We are a direct primary care office where we take the time to get to know you. For a reasonable monthly fee, we offer transparent billing and easy-to-access primary care for all ages. Noretta Family Medicine, cutting through the red tape of healthcare. Find out more by visiting NorettaFamilyMed.com. That's Noreta FamilyMed.com.
Are you looking for a luxurious way to pamper yourself? Look no further than Sunrise Artisan Bath & Body. Our plant-based soaps and lotions are designed to provide you with the ultimate experience. Our products are natural and nourishing, leaving you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. So go ahead, treat yourself with Sunrise Artisan, which is more than a bath, it's an experience. Sunrise Artisan, located at 710 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points, or online at sunrisebath.com. Sunrise Artisan.
Looking for the perfect gift or a little something to brighten your day? Visit A Little Happy at 707 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points. Discover unique gifts, delightful accessories, and one-of-a-kind treasures, all carefully curated by our owner, Ashley Lindler. At A Little Happy, we believe in spreading joy through every item. So come on in, find your happy, and support local. Your next favorite thing is waiting.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Small Business Saturday Radio. I am your host, Tzima, and we have, I guess, open lines, sort of. Yeah, we do. So that's the thing. Remember, my promise to you was whenever I'm in the studio and it's just me and you, that's your opportunity to be able to call in and you tell me what you want to talk about and we go from there. Or if I've said something to you that you're like, you know what, that's interesting, but I don't agree, or I do agree. Feel free to call in, because one of the things about me is that I love hearing different opinions. So I'm not going to hold people hostage like what we're witnessing in the world. Whereas if you don't agree with me, then you belong to another tribe that I'm willing to destroy. That is the dumb. Okay, I'm not going to do that today because it's a beautiful day outside and I can lose my train of thought just thinking about all the negative energy that's surrounding us that we're tapping into. I'm going to do a show on that and talk about how that's having an impact, but not today. Today is a beautiful day. Today, we're going to talk about how you living. How are you living? How are you living? What does that have to do with small business, Tzima? I'll break it down to you right after I talk to you about someone dear to 5 Points, dear to Columbia, dear to USC, the Gamecocks, and all of that. So in full disclosure, you guys know I don't know anything about sports. I just don't. Everybody knows that. I don't. I'm sorry. But I know people. And Steve Tannehill was some that I didn't know him like personally. But he was a big figure in 5 Points. And he really was honored, appreciated, and loved by a lot of people. So he was I don't want to talk about what position he played because I don't know those things. But I do know that he played Gamecock football from 92 to 95, and apparently he was amazing at it. He owned group therapy. I think he owned another bar down in 5 Points, but I know for a fact he owned group therapy in 5 Points. And I had the privilege of, you know, in full disclosure, you guys know that I sit on the board of directors for 5 Points. So I was able to sit on the board with him for about a year. And he was always kind, gentlemanly, okay, very nice. Those are the things I remember about him. But yeah, so I can say that, you know, I was able to spend some time with him, and he seemed like a really, really, really good guy. Anyway, unfortunately, he passed away. I think he had a struggle with cancer, and unfortunately, cancer is so brutal. But he has transitioned. I don't believe in death in the way that, you know, that's the end of your story. Honestly, I think, well, I just don't believe that's the end of it. Okay, so he has transitioned, and 5 Points today is going to be honoring that. And one of the things that I love about everything that's going on around his life is that people are saying this is the way that he would have wanted his life to be remembered. So there's going to be bands down in 5 Points. I believe the mayor is going to come and speak on behalf of, you know, the contributions that Tannehill made not only to 5 Points, but to Columbia as a whole. His family, we will be there to speak about, his experience of, being Tanny Hill. And so there's going to be music. I think the first part of it is going to be private. So coaches that worked for him, players, football players, professional football players, non-professional football. Like I said, please don't hold me to the terminology because I don't know anything about sports. But everything that I do understand, this individual really led a really good life. And I think what happens is that in your transition, you know the kind of life an individual led because other people will discuss who you were while you were here. So it's like, I've been in situations, actually not that long ago, where a person transitioned and I found myself saying good and I hope that hell greets them well. And then I had to pull back and was like, okay, come on, Tzima. But this person was so cruel. I'm not going to put out there who they were or whatever, or the relationship that I unfortunately had with them. But the reality is, I think how you live tells people who you are. And if you're the type of person that's, just mean to people, take advantage of people, if you're one of these people that are users, if you're one of these people that, you have no integrity, so for you it's just all about how can you get the most for the least, right? I think that says something about you. I am the kind of person, I will not push back on you. You have to push me first because I will respond. But I am not the kind of person that's going to judge somebody on how much money they make, how much money they don't have, what they got in their life, what they don't have in their life. I'm looking at your character. I'm not just listening to the words you say. I'm looking at your actions. So for me, when you show me who you are, I believe that. And that's the thing. My grandmother used to tell us that your name is going to go way further than you do. Make sure there's something good that follows it. So bringing it back to Tanny Hill, based on this memorial that 5 Points is having in honor of him, says a lot about who he was as a person. That's my belief. So I'm just letting you guys know, and that's how I feel about my death. I don't want people weeping, crying, and, no, dude, celebrate. Talk about how crazy I was. Did I do anything that had a positive impact on your life? Okay. Was there anything that maybe I shared with you that now you can pass on to somebody else? Let's play music. Let's drink and be merry, for tomorrow we may all die. That is a very ancient African saying, and I know that people think it came from the Greeks, but it didn't. Drink and be merry, for tomorrow we may all die. In other words, live in the moment, appreciate what you have right now, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. But one thing that is promised to all of us, every last one of us will be leaving this. So it's not the dying, it's not the death, it's how did you live? I want you to think about that. How did you live? So, Steve Tanny Hill, from me to you, the person who knows nothing about sports, I hope your journey is an amazing one as you've transitioned from this. You know what? I'm going to tell you this. Seriously, listen, audience. Sometimes I think I've joked about, I think we in hell. I don't think you have to go anywhere to be in hell. I think we're already there. I think we have to get out of hell, okay? And figure out what the heaven is, or either bring heaven to here. But right now, I think this is straight up hell, okay? If it's not, it's basic training for it. Because we have lost our minds. Okay, your life is so much more than the things that you get. Your life is so much more than that. You bring something to the table. You can blame other people for why you can't do this, why you don't have that, why you're miserable, why your life sucks. Okay, do that. Give your energy over to something else. Or you can focus on creating the life you want for yourself. And this is what I know for a fact. What you put out is what you get back. You want a beautiful life? Try to help other people have a beautiful life. You want to be able to live in a space where you feel good? Help other people achieve that. You want to feel good about what you're bringing to the planet? Help other people feel good about what they're bringing to the planet. My intention for 2026 is to try as much as I can to put out as much as I can any kind of positive energy, man, because that's the only thing that's going to move us forward, because we are stuck. So again, today we're talking about how you live. And the next thing I wanted to touch on was there was this, I was having a conversation with a friend. We were talking about business, and this is when I was going through, oh yeah, I'm going to sell my house. It's like I'm between, I'm going to build a tiny house, or I'm leaving and I'm going to sell everything and just live on the beach in Costa Rica. So anyway, we were talking, and one of the things that she said to me is that, you have to decide, do you want to live to work, or are you working to live? And I've heard that before, but we got into a deep conversation about this. Are you living to work, or are you working to live? And when we come back, I'm going to break down what the difference is, because I think that's important, and that directly connects to if you're a business owner. Right? Are you living to work, or are you working to live? That's kind of deep. So anyway, the telephone number here on the Groucho's Deli phone lines is 803-799-8255. Again, that's 803-799-8255 at the point. And if you have something you want to share about how you live in, feel free to call in. Let me know. I want to know how you live in. I want to know if you're good. Right? We all go through stuff. None of us are perfect. And that was the other thing that I'm working on. Forgive yourself, man. None of us are perfect. But do the best that you can do. And if you're doing the best that you can do, that's all you got. So anyway, we will be back after bottom of the hour news. Again, you're listening to Small Business Saturday Radio.
The City of Columbia's Office of Business Opportunities supports small business owners. We help minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses with loans, technical assistance, education, and advocacy. We're here to help business owners avoid mistakes. Contact us with questions and let us help. For more information, call 803-545-3950 or visit obo.columbiasc.gov. Together, we are Columbia.
Looking for the perfect gift or a little something to brighten your day? Visit A Little Happy at 707 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points. Discover unique gifts, delightful accessories, and one-of-a-kind treasures, all carefully curated by our owner, Ashley Lindler. At A Little Happy, we believe in spreading joy through every item. So come on in, find your happy, and support local. Your next favorite thing is waiting.
Are you frustrated with the healthcare system and looking for a change? Then look no further. I'm Dr. Melissa Boylan with Noretta Family Medicine. We are a direct primary care office where we take the time to get to know you. For a reasonable monthly fee, we offer transparent billing and easy-to-access primary care for all ages. Noretta Family Medicine, cutting through the red tape of healthcare. Find out more by visiting NorettaFamilyMed.com. That's NORETA FamilyMed.com.
The business tip of the week, brought to us by my friends over at the Hideout, Laurent. I was saying crepes and croissants. Laurent is a dear friend of mine. He's been a dear friend for, God, now, I don't know, 15 years maybe. He's one of the sweetest people you can ever meet. Anyway, he's the owner of the Hideout. He is also the owner of Crepes and Croissants, has a coffee house over in Carolina Lakes. So I admire anybody that's doing really well in business, because I love that. Another friend of mine, Steve Cook, who owns Saluta's, they got Cafe Strudel. They've got some other things they're opening up. They're opening up a oyster bar in 5 Points, which, yeah, I need one more place to go spend money at and eat. But an oyster bar, I'm definitely going to be there. We got good restaurants in 5 Points. But anyway, that's going to be opening soon. So I'm excited about that. So what is the business tip of the week, Tzima? I don't know. Trust your gut. Trust who you are. Trust your gut in situations, right? Because your instincts, I think, can take you far and probably help you avoid a lot of stuff. But some stuff we can avoid. Some of this stuff, dude, we have to go through it. So it is what it is. So anyway, you know what? I have a caller. So I'm going to go to the phone lines. Okay, caller, you're on the air. Thank you so much for calling in.
Hello, Sister Tzima. Hope you're having a good day.
I am.
And the rest of your listening audience.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope they all appreciate you saying that to us. And I am having a wonderful day. It is so beautiful outside. How about you?
Oh, I'm sitting outside right now.
See?
I just got some equipment repaired, and I'm getting ready to go back to work. But I said I was going to stop and listen to your show.
Aww. Thank you. Really, that means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me. Mm-hmm.
Now, the next time I go to Washington, D.C.,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to Anacostia.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Okay.
That's my stomping ground.
I know that. But I've been to D.C.
mm-hmm.
maybe 3 times.
Okay.
And I've never gone to Anacostia. But I'm going to make sure next time I go that way. Which I don't even care about D.C.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to make sure I go to Anacostia.
Well, listen, let me explain something to you, okay? So Anacostia Park was everything for us growing up, but Anacostia High School was our rival. So I grew up in the Martin Luther King area, the southeast, that area of Washington, D.C. So if you go down by Andrews Air Force Base, or if you're over in the southeast, Anacostia is in southeast too, but if you go over by Martin Luther King Avenue, Hope Avenue, all of that, that's the area I grew up in. But we would all go to Anacostia Park, and we would always talk about how you had to fight the rats and stuff like that. And the other thing is we would always go down to Potomac Park, which back in the day was called Haynes Point. And we would go down there and have a blast too. So if you want to walk through the paths that I walk through, you want to start there, over by like DuPont Circle and all of that.
Well, see, my point with Anacostia is
mm-hmm.
that's where Frederick Douglass.
Absolutely. Great people come out of that area. I'm in the area. I'm just telling you that the high school was our rival. So,
well, look, I mean, I'm where I'm sitting at in the city or the county right now.
Uh-huh.
One part is Columbia.
Right.
Move next street over. It's another part.
Right.
It is what it is.
That's how it is for me.
I just want to honor Frederick Douglass.
I know that's right. But you know what's interesting? Being born and raised literally in Washington, D.C., and having the opportunity to travel the world via military, the reality for me is that as I've gotten older, I realized all the things that I took for granted out of Washington, D.C. So, for instance, growing up in Washington, D.C., it was always a school trip to go to the Smithsonian, to go to the White House, to go to the monument. When you live there, nobody cares. It's like the person that lives on the beach and never goes out to sit in the sand. You just make the assumption, okay, whatever. But now that I'm not there, I call home and I tell my aunts all the time, next time I come, I want us to go to the Smithsonian. Next time I come, I want to go to the African American Museum. Next time I come, I want to make sure, like, we grew up going down to the wharf, which is totally different now. When I was growing up, we could go down there, get big barrels of crabs and stuff for little or no money. Okay. And the next thing you know, nobody can afford a barrel. But one of the things that we would do every weekend, particularly in the summer, in DC, and this would be happening all over DC in backyards, but we'd have these seafood fests. So we get to go down to the wharf. The wharf was horrible. It doesn't look anything like it looks now. Buy crab, shrimp, all of this, oysters. Come back home. Music is playing in the backyard. Table set up for brothers to be able to do dominoes. Somebody's playing spades over at this table. They're playing music, so we're dancing. And then you got a whole table where people are sitting around breaking open crabs and stuff like that. I miss that sense of community. That is one of the things that I sorely miss about not being in D.C.
And two things.
Mm-hmm.
No guns,
Mm-hmm.
no violence.
Yep.
Peace and love.
Yes.
That's what we have to get back to.
Yes.
But that's what. No. I'm a man that will defend myself.
Exactly.
If I have to.
If you have to.
But and women
Mm-hmm.
and children.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is the time that I've been in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't even know about Anacostia. But that's where Frederick Douglass resided
That's
in.
right.
Well, okay, now, if you don't know who Frederick Douglass is,
Hey,
you gotta look
if
him
people
up.
don't know who Frederick Douglass is, I don't even want to have a conversation with you because that is basic. I mean, that's something that everybody kind of learns in elementary school.
Well, okay. Look, they don't teach our children anymore. But
Right.
how did Frederick Douglass escape slavery?
Right.
I'm asking you.
From my understanding, he was with the abolitionists, and being with the abolitionists, if I'm not mistaken, was a pathway for him to be able to escape slavery. I also understand. Okay, then you tell me.
Okay. He escaped slavery.
And then we got 2 minutes because I have another caller.
Okay, sister, I understand.
Okay, come on.
He escaped. He escaped slavery by dressing as a woman.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that
Because he didn't have the facial hair and the mustache and all that. Then he was still young enough that he could pass as a woman.
Oh.
That's how he escaped slavery.
Yeah.
That's how he's in Anacostia. All right, sister.
You know what?
Off.
I love that. Thank you. I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to say this to you, so I hope you're still listening. I did not know that. But now think about it. At the age I am and growing up, they would never say, this dude dressed up like a chick, man, especially now. This dude dressed up like a chick to escape slavery, from my understanding, from what we were taught. And I have some problems with this. No, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, they would have never mentioned that. So that's why I didn't know that. So thank you. This is why I love learning new things. I didn't know. I'm not going to do that. See, I have all these jokes in I'm not doing that. Don't do it to Tzima. Do not do it. All right, caller, you're on the air. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Tzima, is this me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So,
Wait
I
a minute.
agree
Wait,
with the previous...
Can I say one thing? I don't mean to cut you off, but we do have
Absolutely.
We have a minute and a half before we go on the break. So I just want to let you know, if you don't get to finish, I'm just going to put you on hold and bring you back after the break.
I'll be very quick.
Okay.
I just wanted to express peace and love as your previous caller to yourself, your previous caller to me, and anybody else listening. Really quick, does anybody have a clue when the Buddhist monks will be at the State House this morning?
Yes. Okay. So now I don't know what time. I think what I
Give
saw.
or take.
Yeah. So what I saw is 3:00. And that was one of the things that I actually wanted to talk about today, the Walk for Peace by the Buddhist monks, because a lot of people know that I am a Buddhist. You know, from
I heard they're already in Lexington, so right. I was thinking like 1 and 1:30.
Well, again, I don't know, but based on the following and the posts that I've seen, it's said that they're supposed to be at the State House around 3. Now, my thing is this, though. Even if they get there before, I would get there early. Just because, it's going to be so many people down there. I wish I could be there. Unfortunately, I have to be at my shop. So, but yeah, you got to call me back next week and tell me what your experience was. If you
I
go.
Definitely will.
Well, I appreciate that. And thank you so much.
And I'm going to be there at 1 or 1:30.
All right, hon. Well, have a good time, too. All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. All right, everybody. You hear that? That means we're going into the last segment. We'll be right back.
The City of Columbia's Office of Business Opportunities supports small business owners. We help minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses with loans, technical assistance, education, and advocacy. We're here to help business owners avoid mistakes. Contact us with questions and let us help. For more information, call 803-545-3950 or visit obo.columbiasc.gov. Together, we are Columbia.
Are you frustrated with the healthcare system and looking for a change? Then look no further. I'm Dr. Melissa Boylan with Noretta Family Medicine. We are a direct primary care office where we take the time to get to know you. For a reasonable monthly fee, we offer transparent billing and easy-to-access primary care for all ages. Noretta Family Medicine, cutting through the red tape of healthcare. Find out more by visiting NorettaFamilyMed.com. That's NORETA FamilyMed.com.
Are you looking for a luxurious way to pamper yourself? Look no further than Sunrise Artisan Bath & Body. Our plant-based soaps and lotions are designed to provide you with the ultimate experience. Our products are natural and nourishing, leaving you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. So go ahead, treat yourself with Sunrise Artisan, which is more than a bath, it's an experience. Sunrise Artisan, located at 710 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points, or online at sunrisebath.com. Sunrise Artisan.
Looking for the perfect gift or a little something to brighten your day? Visit A Little Happy at 707 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points. Discover unique gifts, delightful accessories, and one-of-a-kind treasures, all carefully curated by our owner, Ashley Lindler. At A Little Happy, we believe in spreading joy through every item. So come on in, find your happy, and support local. Your next favorite thing is waiting.
All right, everybody. You know what? We are in the final segment of Small Business Saturday Radio. Again, I'm Tzima, your host. I love being in the studio, man, when I'm in here by myself and get to do what I think is like my lane, which is talk about everything under the sun. I love conversations like that. I love doing Small Business Saturday and talking to different people about their passion, why they do what they do, letting you know that, these folks exist and why it's important for them to have their businesses. But I also absolutely love talking to the listeners. So if you want to call in, feel free to call in. This is the last segment. That telephone number on the Groucho Deli phone lines, once again, is 803-799-8255. 803-799-8255. We're talking about how you live in. And two things, last two callers. The first one brought some information to me that I was unaware of. I did not know Frederick Douglass. I thought he was with the abolitionists. Like he was able to escape it. Well, I guess that part is true. They just didn't tell us he did it in a dress. So I'm sure that that's probably why I didn't know that. And that's why I was like, you know what? Anybody who don't know who Frederick Douglass is, I don't have time to talk to you. However, those are little jewels, nuggets, and I have to do some research to make sure that is what happened. How Frederick Douglass was able to escape slavery. I mean, it doesn't shock me, but I also understand why we wouldn't have been taught that in school when I was growing up. Because, yeah. The other part is that the previous caller, before we went into commercial break, was asking me about the Buddhist monks that are doing a walk for peace, and they're going to be coming through Colombia. And from everything that I saw, they're supposed to be at the State House around 3 o'clock. Now, don't hold me to that, because I've been following these threads and treads and all that other stuff, whatever. And every time you turn around, it's like it changes. Can you expect it not to? I mean, they are walking. So it's not like they can be like, yeah, let's take a shortcut through I-20. I mean, come on, they're walking. So I would love for them to have stopped in 5 Points, though. But anyway, from my understand, I can understand why they would be at the State House, because that makes sense, right? Everybody from all over, we know the State House. So, yeah, so they're supposed to be there based on what I read around 3 o'clock. If I was you, I wouldn't wait till then to show up. And don't call me next week talking about, you said 3 o'clock, I got there at 2:30 and they had already left. I don't know. All I know is that they walking. They walking for peace. I can't even walk up the street right now. Okay, these people walking across the street. I can't even walk up the street. And the thing about it, I'm a Buddhist. I know a lot of people, well, no, most everybody that knows me knows that. I am a Nichiren Buddhist. Let's get it real. Yes, I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And one of the reasons why I love Buddhism is because Buddhism is more of a way of life and based on, philosophical thinking. I mean, it's a lot deeper than that. But even though I grew up as a Christian, one of the things that I recognized about me, and this is not to knock anybody. See, I think that the creator, the source, God, whatever you want to call it, Jesus, whatever, okay, is so intelligent, so much more intelligent than us, that there are different paths that can lead you to that. What humans do, in my opinion, is try to tell everybody that their path is the only path because this is what their book tells you. Dude, God is bigger than that in my world. So I'm not anti-Muslim. I am not anti-Christian. I am not anti-Wicca. I'm not anti-pagan. I'm not anti-nobody as long as you're not harming other people and killing them. I don't care how you connect with the source as long as the source is bringing out the best of who you could be. And growing up in a Christian family, who all thought when I got to South Carolina that the devil had, hijacked me, because I'm not doing that. I cannot relate to dogma. And for those of you who don't know what dogma when it comes to religion is, the dogma are the rules. So for instance, if you're practicing Muslim, then you're praying 5 times a day to the east. That's a part of their dogma. Reading the Quran is a part of their dogma. Christianity, it's the Bible. Christianity, chances are you go to church on Sunday. Christianity, you have the 10 Commandments. Not that there's anything wrong with it. What I hate is hypocrites. Oh, Lord. And then hypocrites that are, well, you know, God knows none of us are perfect or whatever. Dude, you knew you wasn't supposed to be messing with children. Give me a break. Okay? So I don't want to hear you tell me why God loves you and all this other stuff. You are the poorest example of whatever your religious, but if you're bringing harm to other people in the name of God, or if you're trying to excuse your behavior by using God as the catalyst for why we need to forgive, I have a problem with that. I'm someone who worked with Susan Smith when I worked in the penitentiary. I have a problem with women that kill their children, men that kill their children, people that kill children, and old people. I have a problem with that. I don't want to hear about you found God. Okay, that's between you and God. If God forgives you, good for you. But don't look to me to be like, oh, you know, I get it. We are all wired this way. All of us have that negativity in us. You get to choose, though. You get to act on, you know. Listen, if you need God to be able to tell you what's right and wrong, then I got a question for God, because I think we're already wired that way. Nobody should have to tell you you don't have a right to go out and kill people. You don't have a right to go out and be. You have a right to defend yourself. That's common sense. You don't have a right to harm another person because you don't like your life, or because, you know, and I understand a lot of people, especially now, a lot of people have mental problems and need to be on medication. I get it. But don't use your religion as a way to judge other people when you know you got so many skeletons in your own closet. I think that's in your book, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's talking about, you know, you trying to pull the splinter out of somebody else's eye when you got a whole big board in yours. The blind leading the blind. So for me, I think that when you like drill it all down, condense it all down, different religions and philosophies resonate with certain people. But the golden rule for me, just like it says in the Bible, you know, do unto others, man. That's the golden rule. Do unto others. That's it. So I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, I don't care if you're atheist, agnostic. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, because I don't know for a fact. All I know is what works in my life. And what works in my life is being a Buddhist this week. You know what? I studied all these different religious paths too. And the thing about it is that at the core of 95% of them, it really is about unconditional love, man. It really is. It's about unconditional love. You know, understanding that we're all connected. This whole thing that we're involved in, where we're pointing fingers at each other, talking about why this person doesn't deserve that. Jesus was the one that said, what you do to the least among you is what you do to me. I want y'all to think about that, and then think about people that are in situations that are way more less fortunate perhaps than the one you have. Are we so conditioned to the things that we want that we've forgotten basic core moral teachings? Just basic. What would Jesus do? We got to stop hating each other, man. So for me, what I want to do with the show moving forward is to make sure that I can bring something positive to the table. So the show is almost over. Listen, everybody, check out our podcast. All you have to do is type in Small Business Saturday Radio. It's on all of the things. We're getting ready to put it on YouTube too. But again, the podcast is Small Business Saturday Radio, Columbia, South Carolina. Have a good weekend, everyone.